The camera glides over the glinting, endless expanse of the coral sea off Queensland's Gold Coast. Waves whisper secrets. A tourist group disembarks from a hardy boat, Tucker's experience, for what seems like a thrilling shark dive under the sun. But the beauty of the sea hides its darkest truth. Our first glimpse of Bruce Tucker, Jai Courtney, is deceptive. Sun-bleached grin, weather-beaten skin, eyes that glint with mania. He charms Heather and Greg, tourists hungry for spectacle, but beneath his smooth patter lies a predator of a different kind. It's he who turns the trip into ritual. He kills Greg in a sudden slash of violence and locks Heather in a cage far from salvation. Her screams mingle with the cries of circling sharks below. Then enters Zephyr, the nomadic American surfer, Hassi Harrison. She lives free, van, waves, solitude. A chance encounter with Moses, Josh Heuston, blossoms into something tender. Pancakes, conversation, fleeting connection. But it's her independence that makes her Tucker's next mark. He abducts her into the belly of his twisted ocean vessel. When Zephyr wakes, she finds herself shackled in the cold underbelly of Tucker's boat. Heather, her cage mate, stares blankly ahead. Above deck, Tucker preps the feeding. Fish innards, bait, camera gear. The water churns, sharks drawn by ritual. Zephyr watches in horror as Heather is lowered into the bloody water, the camera rolling. She realizes, this is not just death, this is performance. Tucker speaks at length, philosophizing about sharks, God, hunger, spectacle, every monologue threaded with perverse fascination. Most people think God is up here. He gestures to sky. But nah, God's down there. His charm fractures into mania, revealing the monster behind the grin. Zephyr, though terrified, isn't passive. Flashbacks reveal her grinding past. She's tough, resilient, a survivor. She shares a bond with Moses in memory, gratitude, warmth, a promise someone will look for her. These memories anchor her resolve. Heather, fragile, is paralyzed in shock. Together, they are prey in a floating slaughterhouse, but the odds are alive with possibility. By the end of part 1, tension crescendos. Camera lingers on shackles, blood-soaked planks, dim underwater silhouettes. The real horror emerges. The fish aren't the killers. Humans are. And Zephyr understands she must fight, not wait. We begin under the low hum of the boat's generator, a cold, oppressive lullaby. Zephyr's world is now rusted metal, chloroform-scented air, and the relentless churn of water outside. She sits bound on a creaky bunk beside Heather, quiet, pale, shell-shocked. Overhead, Tucker wanders the deck, lit by flickering lanterns as if performing on a grotesque stage. He enters their cell and unleashes another monologue, no, sermon, about his ritual. He reveals scars from a childhood attack, framed news cuttings on his boat's bridge like trophies. Sharks are not beasts to him. They are worshipped deities. Humans, specifically strangers, are sacrifices he orchestrates, recorded meticulously on old videotapes for his private viewing. The sound design echoes the distant snapping jaws, while Tucker's voice is calm, chilling. Most people think God is up here, but nah, God's down there. His grin is everything, sun-weathered, unhinged, all menace. Zephyr's resolve flickers as Tucker fixes the feeding ritual. Bloody chum over the rail, tourniquets tightened, cameras rolling. Heather is lowered screaming into the dark water, surrounded by circling fins. Zephyr watches through tears, powerless and terrified. She knows now, this is his art, and she is neither actress nor willing audience. She is bait, but Zephyr is far from broken. Flashbacks reveal her past, foster homes, a restless childhood, running from anything that tried to cage her. Moses' face, kind, worried, washes in her memory. She remembers his promise. Someone would notice she's missing and come looking. That memory becomes her lifeline. She tests her cuffs, tools hidden in a loose stitch, hopes pinned on escape. Heather trembles beside her, a fragile mirror image of trauma. Still, Zephyr whispers determination. I'm not letting him break me. That fragile hope pulses. Meanwhile, Tucker descends to his bridge and replays grainy footage. Victims convulsing, water reddening. He laughs, a low, guttural sound. This sick pleasure reveals as much character as any dialogue. His ritual is performance art with real victims. The boat is his stage, the ocean his audience. Tensions shift. Zephyr is offered a moment alone. Tucker's blood ritual demands routine. There's a hinge in the door, a loose bolt, a second chance. She shares this moment with Heather. Fear transforms into a shared plan. Escape must be precise. Distract him, remove cuffs, slip into the open water, and hope. Ending the part, the camera pans upward from the rickety hull into stormy sky. Below, unseen sharks swirl. Above, rain threatens. The line between predator and prey blurs. Zephyr steels herself. Tonight, she fights. The third act opens on chaos. Zephyr's narrow escape attempt. Her binds scuffed and bloodied. She scrabbles across the rotting deck as Tucker's manic silhouette looms. She hurls his VHS camera into the sea, a defiant gesture. But sanctuary remains elusive. He recaptures her in a terrifying close-quarter struggle. This episode fractures the taut narrative. We're pulled into flash flowers. Zephyr's memories of Moses, warmth in isolation. We see why her spirit refuses to break. She remembers home, connection, someone waiting. These flashbacks aren't sentimental, they're her backbone. Meanwhile, down below, Heather looks more desolate than ever. Her spirit is fading beneath the choking grip of shock. In a dim corridor, Zephyr passes by her, sharing a look of grief and solidarity. It's a fragile moment, a silent vow not to leave her behind. Above deck, Tucker's deranged ritual resumes. He hauls Heather into the harness again. This time, Moses' van is gone from the surveillance at the shore, and he is spurred into action. From the mainland, Moses hunts for clues. He tracks the van, slips onto the deserted boat at night, hears muffled cries through the hull. We feel his fear, soft pounding heartbeat layered with Tucker's laughter in the distance. Moses finds Zephyr and Heather below deck. He tries dialing police but is ambushed by Dave, the fellow beachside cage tour operator who'd unknowingly sent people to Tucker, confused, horrified at the scene. Tucker bursts in, slashing Dave's throat. Blood sprays across aged floorboards. That violence is visceral. Now prisoners total all three. Moses is bound, Heather wails, Zephyr lies between trauma and strategy. Every breath echoes. She whispers orders to Moses, "Stay still." Tucker readies the next feeding. Moses is lifted into the harness, this time as sacrifice. Zephyr locks eyes with sharks beneath. She tenses, calculating every move. The water churns around Moses as Tucker stabs him in the gut again to summon more predators. Time freezes. Then a roaring helicopter blades overhead, a lifeguard rescue far above the abyss. Panic shifts Tucker's plan. He pulls all inside. That moment cracks open an opportunity. Zephyr, seizing chaos, bites off her own thumb to escape cuffs, her own flesh fueling her defiance. Adrenaline crackles. Tucker zones her out, sees only prey. Zephyr breaks free, struggles across deck, blood slick beneath her. She leaps off the prow into the cold night water, disappearing beneath dark waves. Regret? Rage? All in one moment. Alone in the ocean. But she won't sink. Darkness cloaks Tucker's boat as he waits for the offshore winds and passing traffic to fade into silence. His battered vessel creaks with anticipation. Zephyr and Moses lie on the damp deck. Moses weak, nearly unconscious. Zephyr bruised but burning with resolve. The final feed looms and Tucker readies the harness again, turning his own vessel into a juggernaut of ritualistic cruelty. Above them, a giant white shark appears, massive, silent, a living spectre. The creature scatters the smaller sharks and hovers near the platform as if watching. It's an omen. Zephyr unlocks her restraints quietly, slipping from the harness. She plunges into the dark water. The shark circles, but doesn't attack. Instead, it retreats into the deep. Zephyr resurfaces near Moses. She whispers, "Stay with me." She drags him to safety aboard the deck. Blood trickles from Moses' wound. Strength barely clings. Meanwhile, Tucker regains composure and descends with a harpoon. A slow, tense confrontation unfolds. Human predator versus human prey, alive and wounded. Zephyr digs deep. She grabs Spain's cold tool, a harpoon, and confronts Tucker in a brutal final duel. Each strike echoes heartbreak and survival. Blood splatters, the boat tilts, waves hike up. Then, a clean shot, Tucker plunges into the water. Moments later, the great white returns, crushing jaws, a splash of grisly finality. Tucker disappears beneath the waves. Zephyr and Moses collapse on the deck, trembling. She spots a distant boat, lights cutting through the gloom. Zephyr flags it desperately. Rescue arrives. Waves churn beneath them, but the immediate threat has passed. Their ordeal ends. Their love rekindles in the salt brine dawn. As the credits roll, we're left with haunting questions. Who are the truly dangerous animals? The sharks or the men? The ritualistic camera work, the scarred survivor, the opening acts in which humanity becomes consumer entertainment? Dangerous Animals doesn't whisper moral ambiguity. It roars it into our understanding. We conclude our journey aboard Tucker's death boat, not with screams, but with silence and reflection. Dangerous Animals ends by cutting the confrontation short, shifting to a quiet dawn over the coral sea. After the violence subsides and the sharks recede, we're left gazing at survivors, not victims. At its core, this film asks one chilling question. Who are the truly dangerous animals? Is it our hero, a rugged surfer molded by past pain? Or the sharks? Or the man, Tucker, who uses both as tools of his ritual? The film makes clear, sharks may bite, but humans kill differently. Another theme lies in the obsession with spectacle. Tucker doesn't just kill, he films. He collects VHS tapes. This meta-commentary plays on horror fandom's appetite for grim footage. As critics note, ritualistic camera work and perverse performance turn his boat into stage for consumption of suffering. Zephyr embodies resilience grounded in memory. Her fight isn't motivated by vengeance, it's survival, infused with remembered warmth. Moses' face, their bond, someone who notices. These flashbacks are not mere emotional padding. They are her moral compass, her reason to endure. Cinematically, Sean Byrne's direction thrives on restraint and contrast. Sharks appear rarely, often hidden, more suggestion than spectacle. This minimalist approach echoes classics like Jaws, but the threat is human first. Critics praised this during Cannes and later reviews, calling it a fresh take on survival horror. Musical cues and diegetic flashes, Steve Wright's Evie, Etta James's At Last, are used to highlight the clash between normalcy and brutality, especially as Tina's operators sing Baby Shark before violence erupts. This ironic texture builds tension and unsettling dissonance. Performance-wise, Jai Courtney's Tucker is magnetic, theatrical, and terrifying. His unpredictability and charisma peel away polite facades to reveal a monster obsessed with feeding sharks and filming it. Hassi Harrison's Zephyr is a study in endurance, pain-ravaged but undefeated. Her final fight is brutal not because of choreography, but because of emotional authenticity. The score by Michael Yezerski underpins this emotional arc, rising slenderly during pressure points, then fading to coral emptiness on the water. The cinematography by Shelley Farthingdore contrasts the beauty of the Gold Coast with the horror below, underscoring that paradise can mask atrocity. In summation, Dangerous Animals is not just shark horror. It's a human horror film with shark props. It uses minimalist creature effects to elevate the human monstrosity. The predictable structure doesn't dilute the impact. It sharpens the tightrope walk between predator and survival, seen through the shattered lens of Tucker's VHS archive and Zephyr's fightback. It's a film that's messy, moral, and brutal, but deeply intelligent. Final verdict: watch it for the tension, the themes, the performances, and the way it turns the subgenre upside down on a creaking fishing vessel. This film doesn't just scare, it confronts us with the monstrosity of human spectacle. Thank you for watching this deep dive. If you enjoyed the journey, please subscribe and share. Stay tuned for more film analysis.